Hello viewers, Mike Kazis here with Disc Jockey News, presenting my first official face-to-face interview for this terrific publication. Earlier this week, Disc Jockey News TV released a video entitled Lit Up with Ben Stowe, where hosts Jason Jones and Bill Herman interviewed Ben on some of the details of the third annual Lighting Symposium coming to Electro Voice headquarters in Burnsville, Minnesota on April 14th and 15th. From what sources tell us, this is a phenomenal show put together by Ben Stowe and Mike Fernino that's jam-packed with seminars on lighting, video mapping, and other high-tech state-of-the-art topics. If you're not already attending the symposium this year, there's a good chance that it may be sold out by the time you view this video. But if you want to check, just go to thelightingsymposium.com and it will take you to the registration page on the Eventbrite website. During Ben Stowe's interview on the Bill and Jason show, he shared brief overviews of a majority of seminars that will be in store for attendees. One such particular seminar mentioned was Mike Weider's Luminair seminar. If you're wondering what Luminair is, lucky for you, I've just set up a last-minute interview with Mike Wieder of Ultimate Sounds Entertainment from East Windsor, New Jersey. This will be a typical behind-the-scenes practice day for Mike, where he hangs up the suit and tie for a baseball cap, sneakers, and jeans as he perfects his already wonderful light shows. Let's head out. So, I'm on my way to meet Mike Wieder. He's going to be at the Doubletree Hotel in Tinton Falls, New Jersey. He's got a setup going on out there right now. We're going to go take a look and see how he sets up his Luminair system on one of his light shows. Mike's done a couple of parties with me in the past, and he brings a really nice setup. So he's actually a pretty terrific pick for giving a presentation at the symposium coming up in a few weeks. So I've just arrived at the Doubletree Hotel in Tinton Falls, New Jersey, and we're going to meet with Mike Wieder today. Why don't we start by going in the room and we'll take a look and see what he's got, and we'll see how he uses the Luminair system. Okay, so now we're inside the one of the rooms here at the Doubletree Hotel in Tinton Falls, New Jersey, and we've got Mike Weider behind us. He's doing some practice with some of his lights. Let's ask him a few questions, and we'll see exactly what he's working on. How's it going today, Mike?
Oh, it's going great, Mike. Good to see you.
You too.
And like you said, I'm practicing for an upcoming seminar I'm giving in Minnesota at the EV headquarters for the third annual Lighting Symposium.
Nice, nice, nice.
It's actually going to be a really cool day. It's April 14th and 15th.
Okay.
I'm getting to go to the Mall of America, which is a lifelong dream. My wife's not letting me take any money. But back to the symposium, one of the things that is great about it is it's teaching you so much about lighting that you didn't realize you had the capabilities of doing, such as Luminair, where we can control all of our lighting through an iPad.
Okay, great. So I saw an interview last night with Ben Stowe, and one of the questions that actually came up was about Luminair. So can you elaborate on that? Maybe we'll show some of our viewers.
Absolutely. Luminair is basically giving me the ability to control my uplighting, my moving heads, any type of fixture that is DMX compatible with my iPad or, believe it or not, an iPhone. Right now what we're working on or with are 4 moving heads. Right now we don't have any of the uplights set up for the practice. But what you'll notice is you have track faders, almost the same as you would have on the DMX board. What we do down here is we have cues or scenes, fire 1, fire 2, just subtle changes or dance. I have the lights doing what I want them to do when I want them to do it. Okay. Now, one of the cool features is going into what's called the stack mode. Okay. So, for example, we have a formality stack. So right now, if you look around, we have searchlights flooding the room. I usually use this for the bridal party intro. Then we would throw a spotlight on the bride and groom. And for example, we would have the one spotlight. We have all the uplights running a strobe for the intro. Then we have another button where we touch first dance. It would set up 2 lights on the center of the floor. We invite the guest. We have a nice slow blue. we can do anything we want with the lighting just by pre-programming it, making up the cues, making up the scenes, and creating the stacks. One of the cool features about it is you have the option of doing things by time, by tempo, or sound active. So you never have to have the same light show twice. You can actually go to your settings and shuffle your stack if you want to do something different. You get tired of the same routine on and on.
Okay.
You can shuffle it up. And we have different types of stacks that we like to use.
Okay.
Just as something simple is a spin.
Now, just to elaborate on some of the stuff you have on your iPad, these are little programs that you created, or is this something that actually built in with Luminair?
No, actually, it's not built in with Luminair. You actually put in what you want.
Okay.
You take a DMX fixture, you assign the channels to it, it knows what you want it to do, basically. You're telling it, I want this light red pointing over there with this gobo, and it's simply saved.
Okay.
Now, what you do is you hit that little button up there, you go to your projects.
Okay. And is this the first step? Let's say if someone had just pulled this out of the package, or really just downloaded the app, because it's basically an iPad app is what you're working with.
iPad or iPhone, yes.
Okay, and then how much does this cost?
I believe the prices come down to about $80, $79.
Wow.
But you do need a wireless router. You need either an EliteNet or NTEC ODE. It's a type of dongle.
Okay.
You can actually contact Mark from Eternal. He can give you more information on that.
Okay.
One of the things when you open it up for the first time is you're going to go to your projects. Okay. And you're going to create a project. And what a project is, basically, we're at the DoubleTree right now.
Yeah.
I can actually change the name of Maine to DoubleTree Tinton Falls.
Gotcha.
Now you can do pretty much name them. You can pretty much name them whatever you'd like. Nottingham Ballroom we just worked at, and customize and create the light show for that venue.
Okay.
So when we have our main program or our main project, what we do, we walk into a new venue.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, we had the pleasure of working together last week at the Westwood and Garwood, yes, with that lovely load-in.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's for another story.
Yeah, my knees are still killing me. My back is shot completely. But one of the things that you do is we walked into actually, I believe I have it on here, and we copied our main show. We renamed it the Westwood and Garwood.
Okay.
And then we just tweak the fixtures and the lights for the room. If you look right now, what we're doing is we're doing a simple chase, going through all the colors.
So those are your scenes, basically, right? Red Flash 1, Red Flash 2.
Right. And what you do is, and let me take you back to it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that would be the start of a first step, is first create a scene in DMX?
You create a scene. Let me, we'll actually do one together.
Okay.
You go up to the little plus sign.
Okay.
You go from current track, we want to create a new scene. So now we have scene 213.
Okay.
Right now, there is nothing on there except that one white light, which
And how do
will
you know that?
change.
Because it's blank, or?
Right, we have 4 moving heads on there right now. So
Okay.
that one to our left is fixture 1. So we actually can now control that light. If you look, we have control over it.
Gotcha.
We want to go up and down, left and right. Now the white is very bright, so what we would want to do is give it a little color. All we have to do is turn the shutter on.
Okay.
And we can dim it if we'd like, if it's a little too bright. Change the colors.
Okay.
Change the gobos. It actually has 2 gobos on here. You have gobo 1, gobo 2. You can do a prism, you can do focus, you can do an iris to zoom in, zoom out. These are options that you have if your light has it. Anything that your light can do through DMX, we can do through Luminair.
Okay.
So
it's important for people that are programming lights to refer to their manuals for the channel references, so they can at least know, like, which is the strobe, which is the gobo, which turns the light.
exactly, it helps to know what you're doing for some reason. Now, we created one scene. So now we're going to create another scene.
Okay.
So now in this scene, we're going to shut the orange and turn on white. And now we're going to move to a different fixture. And we're going to turn that one on. And we're going to put a gobo on it, and we'll give it a different rotating color.
Yeah.
So now you have scene 1, sorry Mike, and scene 2. Now if we put those two into a stack,
Yes.
and what we'll do is we'll create a new stack. We'll name it, we'll just call it test.
Okay.
And now we'll add the two newest scenes that we made. And that's it. Now we have those scenes here. We hit play, and that's it.
Great.
They'll go back and forth. That's not exactly something I would use at an event,
Sure.
but it'll give you an idea. Then we'll just black it out.
Nice. So that test section would be sort of like for people that have older DMX systems, that might be the equivalent to a bank. Or
Yeah,
Okay.
you're creating. See, I don't remember old DMX because I could never figure it out.
right. Okay.
That's why I'm going to the Lighting Symposium, so I can learn.
Okay.
Luminair for me has been fairly easy to learn, and there are a lot of tricks that we didn't even touch on now
Yes.
that will be covered at the symposium.
Yes. The other thing too that I just noticed on the Luminair system is on your screen here. Let me just hold it up. So you'll see how it has, dimmer, speed, and that's nice because you would have to refer to the manual. Go back and forth to the manual, to the light, to the manual, to the light, to the controller.
Right, so you know what.
You have everything listed already on there.
Right, you can actually do that, or by coming up, let's say you want to add a new fixture. You add a new fixture from fixture file, find the light that you want, let's say eternal, and you want to add the echo edge. It's 13 channel. It's actually going to add that in for me and assign it the proper DMX channel, so I just make sure the light has it.
Yeah.
And now I have complete control over that light.
That's nice.
Now, one of my favorite things, and my guys call it the make it idiot proof, is this button right here. It's called the cover mode. Now, the cover mode, and I'm working on that now.
Oh, I see what you're saying. In other words, it's a visual of what you want it to do.
Right, so if I had my uplights here and I wanted the room to be that blue, all I would do is touch that picture, and it would do it. This is a scene I like called Dots 1. If you look on the floor,
Oh, okay.
it's dots.
Mm-hmm.
Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch the tab at the bottom.
Let me get the tab.
Tab,
it.
okay. You saw it?
Yes.
Now I'm going to say, I want to choose an image. Okay, so now let's say I take a picture. I'll say use photo. Now if we go back to the cover mode,
Okay.
there it is.
That's
So
great. Yeah.
if we're here and I want that scene on there, I just have to touch a picture of what I want it to look like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and there it goes.
That makes a lot of sense
So-
too, because
Well, here, we'll
there's
do.
a lot of times when you create scenes or you put them in banks on the older controllers, and you may not remember where anything is, and you have to either maybe make some notes or just
Yeah.
pretty much guess.
But if you watch, we'll go to, this is a completely different scene.
Okay.
It's called circles. So we have circles on the table, dance floor, wherever. And now I just go to that picture of dots, touch a picture, and there go the
Gotcha.
dots.
Oh, nice.
So we make it idiot proof.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Yeah. So now let's talk about Luminair in the sense of other types of controllers, because there are things like CompuPro, which is computer based as well. Would that be something that people should still use, or what are some of the advantages that Luminair shares with some of those other?
Well, Luminair, as far as I know, is the only one that is completely iPad independent. I believe some of the other ones can work as a transmitter basically to a laptop for CompuPro or MyDMX, I believe. Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
But I know iPad is iPad. That's
Yes.
it. I just have my iPad, I show up, I run it through my system.
Yeah.
I don't have a computer involved. I believe with the other ones, CompuPro, MyDMX, Chavez Show Express, I believe you need to have your computer with you.
Yes. I see. Okay. Yeah.
So I just need the iPad or my iPhone, and I have a blast.
Nice. Yeah. And it'll definitely be a big advantage as well, because when you're standing there in the middle of not only does it look cool, but it gives you the flexibility to do anything anywhere in the room, like just this Saturday and with what we did with the bride, with putting the uplight under her dress.
Yeah, make sure you show the picture or the video so people don't think I physically,
No.
you know.
You didn't put the iPad on there in your
No,
hand.
when I was 18 or 19, that might have been a pickup line, but not now,
Yeah.
no. You can do some really cool things with it. The cool factor is great.
Yeah.
Positioning, when you're doing a spotlight on a first dance or the entrance, and you want to know or have a good line of sight and know where to be,
Yeah.
you can actually go anywhere in the room
Yeah.
and control the lights. You can go have a seat in the lobby and control the lights if you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have a lot of flexibility.
Not to mention the fact that even though you have some wires plugged in right now, but what's interesting is you have your DMX wire. No, it's not even a DMX. Yeah, here's the DMX. Here's your controller. Okay, so now this is going to what now?
Well, we had junction boxes built into the stand. We have one on the bottom,
Okay.
one on the top. So coming in here, we have our wireless DMX transmitter.
Okay.
I'm sorry, receiver.
Receiver. Okay, right.
Powered in, and we have our light plugged in. So basically, when we get to a gig,
Yeah.
literally a matter of minutes before we can have everything up and running.
Yeah.
Because if you look on the back without tripping over the wire,
Okay.
you'll see coming out of the junction box, we have the DMX cable.
Yes.
Well, that's coming from the receiver, and the power for the light.
Oh, nice.
That's all
Okay.
we need.
Yeah, that's great.
What's nice is if we have a TV set up
Yeah.
where we're doing screens, we can mount them on there and plug it in. We never
Right.
have to run 20, 30 feet of speaker cable or
Yes.
HDMI.
So the only wires you actually have on the floor right now are your extension cords.
Right, and right now, just because we're practicing,
Mhm.
we're going from one tower to the next.
Yes. So for a room like this, for example, if you wanted to put these in corners, you're going to cut down on a lot of time and setup, because you don't have to run XLR cables across the room.
No,
or-
we do it wirelessly quite often, so we can
Yeah.
take this fixture and put it in that corner.
Yes.
And by doing that, it allows us better angles if we want to do the first dance or the intro. You could get
Yes.
the spotlight exactly where you want it.
Yeah.
So it's a great feature being able to do it wirelessly.
Yeah, right. How did you find this application? How did you find this app? And because I know there was a quest to become wireless.
Well, for me, when I bought my first iPad that I didn't want to get, and I reluctantly bought it, now I can't live without it, I was wondering if there was any way that you can control your music or your lighting from your iPad. And a friend of mine, Bobby Carpenter from Rhode Island,
Oh, right.
from Main Event Weddings,
Yes.
told me about this great app called Luminair.
Okay.
Now, what he told me was it's great for uplighting, which at the time was perfect.
Yes.
But I said, can you do moving heads? And he said, I don't know, I never tried. So the only thing that beats a failure is a try.
That's right.
I tried moving heads.
Yeah.
And now, my complete light show, I run my moving heads, I run my uplights, lasers, whatever I want, through the iPad.
Nice. So knowledge of DMX is definitely a must. To
Really?
program. Well, you don't know
I
DMX?
don't know DMX.
Well, I think DMX basically is, in a sense, just really knowing the numbers, basically, no?
From what I understand, now, if you put a board in front of me,
Yeah. Like an NSI board like I have, or...
yeah, it means nothing to me. I just
Right.
look at it, I start drooling, and
Yeah.
my eyes glaze over.
Yeah.
For some reason, using the iPad and Luminair, where I can see everything in front of me, and it did the what I wanted it to, when I wanted it to, made it easy. So I don't
Yeah.
consider myself a DMX expert in the least.
Okay. But you have to know about DMX, like how to set up a light on a board, basically.
Almost.
Almost. Okay.
Well, like I said, when I add a new fixture,
Yeah.
it tells me what channel to make it.
Yeah, true. It gives you all the pieces already.
Yeah,
as
it
opposed
just
to,
gives me the pieces, and I have to make
Yeah.
it, put it into the right spot.
Whereas the average Joe, like someone like me, would have to look in the manual to set that up. Or,
Well,
or if
you
I'm
still-
using CompuPro, then that might also give me the same information in CompuPro, but I don't have the ability to run
Right,
off
you
just an iPad.
You still need to program the lights or assign the address
Uh-huh.
and how many channels. But to me, that's not DMX.
Yeah.
Ben Stowe knows DMX.
Okay.
Mike Weider,
Okay.
does not.
Okay. So being that you're running this all wireless, by the way, how much do you know about setting up internet? Because you have to use your router for this, right?
Right. I bring a wireless router. I bring it's called an NTEC ODE, which is basically the dongle.
Okay.
If you're going to ask me how it's set up, I don't remember.
Okay.
I believe Ben or Mark will be explaining that in a little detail.
Yeah, that's a symposium.
Yeah, at the symposium. For me, I know how to turn it on, how to use it, how to shut it off. And shutting it off, I don't care about. I'll pull the plug if I have to.
Yeah, right.
So for the technical end of it, I'm not the guy.
Okay.
For the practical uses of it, I'm here for you.
Okay.
Honestly, this is all I know. I go to my Wi-Fi.
Oh, there it is.
I choose ArtNet.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I go to Luminair.
And ArtNet is the name of that's your what they call the SSID, which is just basically your network name.
Okay.
No, go back for a second. Let me just take a look at that for a second.
Like I said, Mike, I am a...
Oh, so you just go into settings. Oh, I see. So you have Wi-Fi here, which
right,
you're not selecting.
Right, it's going to my wireless router.
Gotcha. And that's called ArtNet.
Okay.
Just trying to identify what that is.
No. I don't do technical.
Okay.
I do practical.
Okay.
I do fun. Thinking is not fun.
Right.
I want to have fun.
Okay.
You can go in here and you'll see the node I'm using is the NTEC ODE.
Okay.
But this is more something for the technical guys.
Yes.
I figure if you're coming to the symposium and want to know about Luminair, you want to see what it does, and the rest of it will come to you or we'll get you there.
Right. That's for, let's say, so maybe someone sat through an internet class or seminar at the symposium, and they say, okay, we've got that part down so far. Now let's go and learn about Luminair, so we can take our internet and we can take our DMX knowledge and learn about something that's really cool and something easy to set up, and that's going to be convenient.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We'll go with that.
Okay.
Now, to be honest with you, the lighting for me came after paying people a lot of money over the years to actually do my lighting for me.
Okay. Right.
And I just said one day, why can't I do it?
Yeah.
And I tried DMX, and then I realized why I can't do it, because I don't know what I'm doing with DMX. And then I came on to Luminair, and unbelievably, my light shows have been great. We're doing them all over, and I can't ask for any more.
Nice. How much time would you recommend to someone if they're doing this for the first time, programming?
Well, I spent a lot of time initially programming everything, getting everything the way I wanted it. And now a lot of it is just tweaking it or adding something new.
Just regular, maybe some occasional maintenance, because
Maintenance, or you go, oh my God, I have a great idea. I can do this, this, and this. Or you see somebody else's light show and you go, I like that. I want to do that.
Yeah.
But once it's in here, and like I showed you before, where you can copy it and paste it into a new project, after that you're tweaking. One of the really cool things, I'm going to go back to the projects.
Okay.
One of my favorite things is having the ability to share.
Okay.
I'm a sharer.
Oh, okay.
So if I wanted to, and let's say you had Luminair,
Yes. Okay.
and you had the same fixtures as I do, I can actually share the project with you.
Wow.
It's nice to be able to do it on your own,
Yes.
but it's also nice to see what somebody else can do. So you have options. You can duplicate your project, create something new, transfer it, but sharing it is the best, because I can email it to you, I can airdrop it to you, and then you can have a light show like that.
Just like that. That's great.
The only thing is your fixtures have to be the same ones and addressed the same way.
I see.
But at least it gives you a starting point.
Right. Do you find there are forums that?
There are forums. There is on Facebook the Luminair for DJs. I believe that was created by Mark from Eternal.
Okay.
A lot of great people there. Robert Spera, Alton Olson. They will almost always take the time. I shouldn't say almost always. They'll always take the time to answer any questions if they can.
Okay.
So great. Mark is a big contributor to it.
Okay.
There are a lot of people that know a lot more about Luminair.
That's fantastic. That's a whole world I didn't even know about because I'm not using it just yet, but it's something I would definitely like to look into in the future. But, you know...
Well, I'd rather you don't because then it costs me money.
Right. When you're selling your lights, how do you get people excited about...
Well, you always have to sell on emotion. You have to paint a picture through what you tell them, what you say to them, and what you can show them. When you can show them a picture of a room before and after uplighting or before and after dance lighting, it changes their mind. It gives them something to say, wow, I want my room to look like that. And even that thing we did with the bride where we uplit the dress.
Yeah.
I have brides call me all the time and go, can you make my dress do that? Absolutely.
Yeah.
When they see something that's cool, they want it for their wedding.
Yeah.
And if you have pictures to back it up, it makes it great.
Right.
You know, whether you're doing static uplighting or color changing all day, the people see it and they go, wow, that's different. That's what I want. And if it's done right, it's done great.
Yeah. Great. So now this is going to be how many years of DJing for you?
Come September, it'll be 33.
Wow. Okay. Nice.
33.
So that would mean that it would put you somewhere in the 80s.
82 was my first event.
Oh wow. Okay. I remember for me because that's when I was a teenager then, and you're welcome. Why, you weren't?
Oh, actually no. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 18, 19. Yeah.
So the Sweet 16s were a big deal. DJs were. That was just back when you had the single guy on the 2 turntables, and it was every other weekend, Sweet 16. So a lot of those parties, there weren't a lot of lights.
None.
And if there were, they were beacons.
They were the Radio Shack beacons and their little brown box strobe light.
And that's pretty much how you started out, right?
Pretty much. Lived. Most of my equipment came from Radio Shack when I began. I spent more money doing my first party just to have the music than I made, and my lighting really didn't evolve until probably the late 80s. Yeah, we were doing very basic because everything was heavy with bulbs, and it was just too much. And now we've come so far that everything is LED, it's lighter, it does more, and it weighs less.
I remember the progression from, because I started in '89, so and we had crossed paths over at Star DJs for a couple of years, and they pretty much had their own lighting package, and it was still based on the beacons and the.
Well, they had their advanced lighting. They had some scanners, but they were heavy.
Yeah.
And you really didn't have the controllers, whether it's Luminair or Show Express or Compu. You didn't have the control back then that we do now.
Right.
And
I remember mid-90s, I was using one of the Martin boards, and it fit right in your case. And it took a while. I mean, you had to set up scenes, you had to set up banks, but at least you got to use the joystick and the controller and be able to see what the light was going to do.
Right.
And then when I went to that NSI board for myself, I just got so confused that I spent all this money on an NSI board, which is a big, giant board. For those of you who've never seen one, it's
huge.
It's the size of a table. And I just put it to the side. But now here we are, a couple of years later.
An iPad.
Yeah.
Or an iPhone.
Yeah.
And the fact that you can walk into a room with your iPad and control the lighting and changing the atmosphere of an event is just mind-blowing.
You answered one question before, and it was based on the fact that, you and I, work together. You do a lot of you do a portion of some of my larger shows for my company. But what are your thoughts? Should every DJ, I probably know what you're going to say basically, but should every DJ or every DJ decide I need to buy a large scale light show?
You know, it's an individual decision. Not everybody wants to get involved. And for the longest time, I was having other companies do my lighting because I didn't want to get involved. If you're going to do it, learn how to do it. Don't buy lights and put them on sound active and not capitalize on what they do. Yeah. If you're going to invest in it, learn. You attend something like the Lighting Symposium or the DJ conventions where there are classes on this. If you do that, then it's worth making the investment. It's the same thing with the photo booth. We did our research on photo booths, now we own them. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to invest your time and your energy in learning how to use it, how to market it, the most important thing, how to make money from it, you're golden. Do it. There's a market for it if you know how to sell it. Okay. And I believe that's one of the classes at the symposium. Perfect. How to profit off your lighting.
Perfect segue.
Yeah,
Perfect
why not?
Segue. So what do you say we put these lights away for you? We'll help you get out of here. And remember, Mike, you give the information on the symposium because I'll mess it up.
Lighting Symposium is April 14th and 15th in Minnesota. It will be held at the EV headquarters. And you can contact Ben Stowe or Mike Fernino. Go online to thelightingsymposium.com or on Facebook. Look forward to seeing you there. It's going to be enlightening. Enlightening. Thank you, yeah. Enlightening. I can't say enlightening.
You said it.
Did I say it?
Yes, you said it. All right, so once again, this is Mike Kazis with Disc Jockey News. We've got an exclusive interview today with Mike Wieder from Ultimate Sounds Entertainment, who's going to be doing his presentation at the Lighting Symposium, like he just said. Hopefully we'll see you guys at the Lighting Symposium. Take care.
Bye.